that whatever eternity is here right now.
Or nowhere else, or everywhere else. If you don't experience it now, you're never going to get it. Because when you get to heaven, that's not eternal, that's just everlasting. Heaven lasts a long time. It's not eternal, it's everlasting.
I don't follow that now.
The eternal is beyond time. The concept of time shuts out.
What should move forward in time with me, and what should be let go as if it's dead wood?
Imagining that you were a statue made of plaster or whatever statues are made of, and a new version of you needs to break out of that, and how uncomfortable that might be, physically and mentally, and that's where most people drop the ball in their evolution towards what they would believe is a stronger version of themselves.
And so the psychic elements are facts, are realities, and when you observe the stream of images within, you observe an aspect of the world within. Because the psyche, you know, if you understand it as a phenomenon that takes place in so-called living bodies.
And that's useful because the judge that you're creating by formulating the ideal tells you what's useless about yourself, and then you can dispense with it.
But if you think, oh gee, I couldn't do that, you know, that's your dragon blocking you in. Oh no, I couldn't be a writer. Oh no, I couldn't do what so-and-so is doing.
The hardest part about becoming the strongest version of yourself is giving up lower forms of yourself, or weaker forms of yourself, whatever that is to you, right? I'm not here to judge what's stronger and what's weaker.
And the fantasy has a proper reality. That is not to be forgotten. Fantasy is not nothing. It is of course not a tangible object, but it is a fact nevertheless. It is a form of energy, despite the fact we can't measure it. It is a manifestation of something.
It's also a lot easier to let go of something when you're deciding to let go of it, because you've decided yourself that you're done with that. It's a weak part of you. It needs to disappear. You do that yourself, it's much better and much easier than it is if it's taken away from you forcibly, in which case you're very much likely to fight it.
The man who is going by the external world, by the influences of the external world, say society or perceptions, sense perceptions, thinks that he is more valid, you know, because this is valid, this is real. And the man who goes by the subjective factor is not valid because subjective factor is nothing. Yeah. No, that man is just as well based because he is bases himself upon the world from within.
Yeah. What do you want? Instead of trying to live up to all these superficial standards, choose your own standards and stay true to those.
So whatever it is we experience, we have to express in language that is just not up to the occasion.
That's it.
It's
That's what poetry's for. Poetry is a language that has to be penetrated. It doesn't shut you off. It opens. It's the rhythm, the precise choice of words that will have implications and suggestions that go past the word is what has to happen. And then you get what Joyce calls the radiance, the epiphany.
Those contents that became unconscious had withdrawn all by themselves. Yeah. They were not repressed. On the contrary, they had a certain autonomy. There I discovered the concept of autonomy. Yeah. And that these contents that disappear have the power to move independently from my will. Either they appear when I want to say something definite, they interfere and say and speak themselves instead of what I wanted to say. Yeah. Or they make me do something which I didn't want to do at all. Or they withdraw in the moment where I want to use them. They suddenly disappear.
Anyone who relates, same thing. What we're going to do here today is not comfortable. We're connecting with that darkness inside. We're connecting with all the things we refuse to feel growing up. We refuse to feel our entire lifetimes. That's what runs us. If you keep it in the dark, you might think, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, it's good, it's not my fault, it's not my fault, it's not my fault. Deep down inside, bullshit. No more running away from that hell. Tune into it. You're strong enough now to handle it, to experience it, and more importantly, to go through it.
And so he is quite right, even if he says, oh, there's nothing but my fantasy, because he doesn't know that he beholds the world from within. And that gives him dignity, and that gives him certainty.